Welcome to the Kickstart Your Coaching Edge podcast, where it's all about getting real around all things coaching.
And what we know for sure is that what got you here won't get you there.
You can't see the spinach in your own teeth.
And finally, hang on, because this one's really deep. Once you realize that you are the traffic, everything makes complete and unadulterated sense.
All right, Karen, this is going to be fun. And you want to know why?
Yeah, because I have no idea what you're thinking.
So we are now going to look at Karen's relationship with impulse control, because sometimes she has it and sometimes she doesn't. So this is going to be great. So we are we're in our second week of the month where we are talking about impulse control and how emotions will drive impulse control or not. Now, Karen has an interesting relationship with impulse control, because I would say that she is pretty impulsive. She is a quick start, get out there, say yes to everything, figure it out later. And there's certain things in life where she has, she's not impulsive at all. It's thought out. It's like a ninja. And it's just sort of a plan that nothing can derail or cause her to have low impulse control. So, Carrie, you up for taking a look at that?
Let's play.
All right. So let's talk about where you have low impulse control. The things that you just automatically say yes before they come out of someone's mouth. You're all in. It doesn't matter if you're driving it, someone else is driving it, or anything. But this is where you act fast, you're all in, and you have very low impulse control. What would be some examples of categories or areas or topics where you're like, you have low impulse control?
I think, well, it's funny, Jen, because there's a couple of things that popped up for me when you just said that, right? Opportunities are one thing, right? So if we get new fun opportunities that pop up for us, that I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's try it. Let's talk. Let's have a conversation with whoever about whatever, because I love opportunities and I'm going to say yes until we say no, or it doesn't work, right? Or we pull out our high reward, low aggravation standards. So opportunities, I'm always going to be that, yep, we'll figure it out and let's just see what the whole thing is like. Shopping, low impulse control, right? I buy stuff all the time. And my favorite three words are add to cart, because I do. And the UPS guy is here very regularly, and FedEx and whoever else. And I like something, I see it, I get it, and boom. Even think, Jen, so we just got back in April, we just got a new Land Rover, right? And the conversation started with Jen and I was like, hey, maybe we should look at cars. And then the next thing was probably not even 3 weeks later, I was obsessed with, and here's the thing too, my impulse control can get Jen very excited about something. And then she's just as excited as I am. And then it's like, boom, we're buying a brand new Land Rover.
I love it. Give me a third category.
Where I have low impulse control.
Yeah.
I'll
give you one.
Okay.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, go. So I'm going to say anything to do with family.
Well, that's, of course it is, because that's exactly what I was going to say too. There's nothing that, like for my family, whatever it is, whatever they need, I'm like, yep, let's go, let's do that. Let's see them. Let's go here. Let's go there. Even a great example is the boys, our nephews coming down to Florida in January. And it was just like, I said to you, hey, what do you think about the boys coming to Florida in January? You're like, yes. Text messages with them, a couple minutes. And in an hour and a half, we had a trip booked, we had football tickets, and we have all these things that are happening in Florida. So that, boom, okay. Let's just do it.
So I'm going to narrow it down for the basis of this episode here. I'm going to take shopping down to technology. Okay. Because there's a lot of things that you love to shop for. But I think you have low impulse control around buying gadgets, technology, cutting edge, different electronics. We have opportunities and we have family. So let's look at why there's low impulse control for those three things. So when you think emotionally, Karen, what would be some emotions that you feel around opportunity? What are some of the emotions that you affiliate with opportunities?
Excitement. So I get fired up. I get excited. It's just like, I don't know, just want to say, I'm on top of the world. Hey. So being able to just, I mean, to the family stuff, to see people, right? To get excited about just spending time, to hang out. Well, obviously, too, Jen, with you, duh, you're my family. So the things that we can do together, the places that we can go, and how much I freaking love you, right? How much I'm connected to you, to all these, my family, and being able, like, those are experiences and emotions that get me fired up.
All right. So I'm going to help streamline for all our listeners there. Okay. So what I heard with opportunities, the emotions that you feel are excitement, right? The element of possibilities. And I'm just going to add one that you didn't say, but because I'm your wife, I think I know you pretty well. I think that you attach a lot of freedom to opportunities as well. What new and adventure, right?
Adventure.
So,
yep.
Right? So the feelings of adventurous, freedom, excitement, and possibilities. With family, what I heard there is connection, there's love. I'm going to throw out some other emotions that might be affiliated with that. There's loyalty. There is a sense of, is this an emotion? I don't know. I should know this. Protection. And there's also a feeling that I don't think that's is generosity. There is something there that you have a lot to be able to give and support your family, right? So it could be to talk through things, to brainstorm, to get people out of a jam, right? To be able to be resourceful. So we have generous, support, connection, love, loyalty, and protection. And that's part of it because you're a go-to person in the family, I think is safe
I wonder
to
what
say.
I wonder what emotion that is, right? And like you just said, we probably should know that, but there's something that satisfaction of being able to help them and to just be there. It's such a connection piece.
I would also say there's significance that comes with that as well, right? And it's two-way because you give so much, and that's your mode, is never to get, it's always to give. And so there's something there that is also contribution. There's so much. Okay, I think we nailed that. Now let's talk about technology from an emotional perspective with your low impulse control. What is it that the technology makes you feel?
It's like, what can this, again, I'm going to say possibilities and opportunities, right? It's like, ooh, what can I get that's going to make things more fun? What can I get that's going to make things that's new, that's different, right? I'm curious about things. I get intrigued by, like, oh man, okay, so the new Apple Watch, right? It's ordered and they're not even out yet. So those kind of things get me really fired up and just really, truly get me excited.
All right. So I'm going to help with that too, right? Because I heard some great emotions in there. It's intrigue. It's curiosity. There's an openness and there's an excitement that comes into it, right? So the interesting thing is those are really great examples of how emotions drive it. Right. So it's not necessarily about the opportunity, but it's what the opportunity represents, that there's a low impulse control. And it is about family, but it's also all the emotion that is behind the family that has low impulse control, right? And then the technology is it brings in a different type of emotion into your life, right? The intrigue, the curiosity, the there's an understanding and all of that that is very important for you in terms of how you love to learn, how you love how things work, how you like to deconstruct. And so a lot of times if you're looking at your emotions and impulse control is to find out where it's low, what are you looking for? Where it's high impulse control, what is it that you're looking for? Because all of this is going to be emotion driven. So let's do this, Care. Where are places that you have high impulse control? There's a big pause between a thought and an action.
And
I
what's
can
funny,
name
Jen?
a few.
So I don't know. You can tell me where there's a big pause, but I don't know if there's really a big pause, because it's just the word that comes to my mind is discipline, and so it's almost a given for me to sit here and say, okay, great. I'm not gonna all right, so here's a great example. Like, I love cookies. I will eat a cookie, but I'll take one bite of the cookie and I'll throw the rest of the cookie away, right? Because I want it, and then I want it, but I'm not going to eat any more of it, and I throw it away because I'm like, I don't really need the rest of it. Like running. So the discipline to just continue to run, because the outcome and the result is what I want, right? I want to be healthy. I want to look healthy. I want to feel healthy. I don't want to, be like, oh man, my pants are tight. Like, I want my clothes to fit different in a way that makes me feel like really good. So in that respect, I can put off eating crap to be healthy all day long.
I love that. So let's talk a little bit about that, right? So there is impulse control. You can call it discipline all you want, but there are many times in your life when you're like, I really want a cookie and I'm not going to have one. I think that's fair to say. There's many times in your life when you're like, I want a cookie, you have a bite, you throw it away. And then also with running is when you're running, there are sometimes you're like, I don't want to be doing this. I want to stop. And you keep going. So there's that pause between what you want in the moment versus what you want in the long run. And what you just shared there that was so beautiful is not only is it what the outcome feelings will give you, which are strong enough to have you say no to the impulse in the moment, it's also what you don't want to feel. So a cookie, you don't want to feel, you don't want to feel bloated. You don't want to feel sluggish. You don't want to feel, disappointed. No, you want to feel disciplined, empowered, committed, all of those kinds of things. So I think that's really where it is about understanding emotions and impulse control. And a lot of times what people do with low impulse control around behaviors they don't want is because they're looking for a feeling in the moment versus what they want in the long run. And that's a beautiful way that emotions are going to be able to help us with impulse control. But we have to understand what drives us to low impulse control and what drives us to a high impulse control. And do we like those reasons?
You know what? And Jen, I think that the running piece of it for me, like you just said, like sometimes it's hard, right? And it's just, and I know we talk a lot about I can do hard things, and well, we can do hard things, but I think that the thing there was, I don't know, what something that you just said brought up for me is that if I stop then, I'm going to be pissed at myself later. And that's, I can stop, but later on I'm going to be like, seriously, why the F did you stop? Right? Because it was hard in the moment. Like, that's not a good enough reason for me to stop. It's just like, suck it up, buttercup, go. And at the end, I might be exhausted or whatever, but I kept going because sometimes like that's the motivation. Because at the end, I don't want to, I don't want the feelings of what if I stopped?
I love it. So it's interesting because many people say Karen Sullivan has low impulse control, but it depends on the topic and the feelings that are affiliated with it. So this is your chance to be able to ask yourself, what are the feelings that drive your either low or high impulse control? And also, how can you use your own deconstruction of impulse control and emotional intelligence to help out your clients? So, Sullivan, I'm being impulsive and I'm calling this one a wrap.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to the Kickstart Your Coaching Edge podcast. Craving more in-depth discussions? Check out the Get Real Inner Circle with our no BS in-crowd of coaches.
Join live coaching discussions, breakdowns of coaching calls, and have some fun while you're at it.
You're going to want to go to kickstartyouredge.com/inner circle. It's time to get real.